Hello students, welcome to EPG Parshala. In today's lecture, we will learn about forest ecosystem, the forest types of India. The learning objectives are the forest cover of India, the main forest types of India, the distribution of different forest types, characteristics and composition of the forests. So, forests in India are very diverse, have a long evolutionary and geological history. They occur under diverse climatic and edaphic conditions. Champion and Seth classifies India's forest into 16 major types and about 221 subtype groups, which have been described in the revised survey of the forest type of India, which was published in 1968 by Champion and Seth. The classification of forest types is based on climate, physiognomy, species composition, phenology, topographic, soil factors, altitude, aspect and biotic factors. The forest cover map of India is shown in the year 2015. The forest cover was 21.34% of the total geographic area of the India. Very dense forests having canopy of 70% or more accounted for 2.61% of the forest area. The moderately dense forest where the canopy cover is 40% or more, but less than 70%, they account for 9.59% of the forest area. The open forests where the canopy is 10% or more, but less than 40%, formed 9.14% of the forest. The scrub forest where the canopy cover is less than 10% were only 1.26%. So, in this diagram it is the pie diagram of the forest cover of India. They have shown the very dense forests 2.61%, moderately dense forests 9.59%, open forests are 9.14%, the scrub 1.2%. In this table, the major forest types of India have been described. The group 1 is the tropical and wet evergreen forests, group 2 the tropical semi evergreen forest, group 3 tropical moist deciduous forest, group 4 littoral and swamp forest, group 5 tropical dry deciduous forest, group 6 is tropical thorn forest, group 7 tropical dry evergreen forest, group 8 subtropical broadleaf hill forest, group 9 subtropical pine forest, group 10 subtropical dry evergreen forests, group 8 mountain wet temperate forests, group 12 is Himalayan most temperate forest, group 13 Himalayan dry temperate forest, group 14 the subalpine forest, group 15 the moist alpine scrub, and group 16 is the dry alpine scrub. So, this classification of the forest types is based on Champion and Seth 1968. We are discussing group 1, the tropical wet evergreen forests. These forests are dense and show 30 to 45 meter tall canopy structure with 4 or 5 strata. Rainfall in the range of 2000 to greater than 3000 millimeter per year. Diversity of tree species high in these forests. These forests are discontinuously distributed mainly along the Western Ghats, the northeastern India and the Andaman and Nicobar. So, continuing with the group 1 tropical wet evergreen forest discussion, we have the northern wet tropical evergreen forest and the southern wet tropical evergreen forest. So, northern wet tropical evergreen forests, they occur in the upper Assam, northern Bengal, Arunachal Pradesh, whereas the southern wet tropical rainforests occur in Western Ghats, Andaman and Nicobar. The northern wet tropical evergreen forests are composed of trees of the family Dipterocarpaceae. There are bamboos, palms and canes. Climbers are present and ground cover is of evergreen shrubs. In southern wet evergreen tropical forest, they are found in the Western Ghats, Andaman and Nicobar, composed of Dipterocarpus and Hupia. Bamboos and canes, they occur in specific locations. Epiphytes are present. So, the Western Ghats is an outstanding universal value. A significant characteristic of the Western Ghat forest is the exceptionally high level of biological diversity and endemism. It is one of the world's 8 hottest hotspots of biological diversity along with Sri Lanka. The forests of Western Ghats include some of the best non-equatorial tropical evergreen forests of the world. At least 325 globally threatened IUCN Red Data List species occur in the Western Ghats. Now we will discuss the group 2, the tropical semi-evergreen forests of India. These occur in areas adjoining the tropical wet evergreen forests and form a transition between the evergreen and moist deciduous forest. The lower canopy is evergreen, whereas the canopy species are deciduous for short periods during the dry season. Tropical semi-evergreen forest type comprises 13.79% of Indian forest types. Continuing with this group 2 discussion on tropical semi-evergreen forests, these are dense, multistrata. Rainfall is moderately high. The canopies are not continuous and the species richness is lower as compared to evergreen forest. There is the presence of the buttress stems in the case of both evergreen and deciduous trees, for example, Iliocarpus and Salmalia species. There is the presence of bamboos, the canes, the ferns and climbers in this forest. Epiphytes are represented by ferns and orchids. These are not climax formations, they occur as edaphic subclimax on shallow, poor soils. So, we are comparing the tropical semi-evergreen forests, the southern type and the northern type. The southern type of the tropical semi-evergreen forests are found in Western Ghats, where the upper canopy is composed of Terminalia, Dipterocarpus, Balanocarpus and Hupia. The northern tropical semi-evergreen forests are found in high rainfall areas of Assam, Bengal and Odisha. Eastern sub-mountain semi-evergreen forest, we have the Shima and Bohinia associations. Then we have the sub-Himalayan light alluvial semi-evergreen forest having the Terminalia. Odisha tropical semi-evergreen forest have the predominance of Artocarpus, Mesosphaeria, Terminalia species. So, group 3 is represented by the tropical moist deciduous forests. These forests are widely distributed, covering both in southern and northern states, including the Western Ghats, Tamil Nadu, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha and Uttarakhand. Common in areas where rainfall is 1000 to 2000 millimeter with a dry season of 3 to 4 months. The trees shed their leaves in winter months, again become flushed during March and April. These forests comprise 19.73% of the India's forest type according to the FSI report 2011. So, we will compare the tropical moist deciduous forests of the southern region and the northern regions. The southern moist deciduous forests are dominated by Tectona grandis, where the northern moist deciduous forests are dominated by Shorea robusta. The very wet, moist sal forest bearing forests occur in Sikkim, West Bengal, the Garo, the Khasi hills, the Jaintia hills, Assam and Meghalaya. Group 4 is represented by the littoral and swamp forests in India. They occur along the coast in the Andaman and Nicobar, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Tamil Nadu In Andaman, the forests are dominated by Manilkara littoralis. Mangroves are found along the east and west coast of India, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the Gulf of Kutch and Khambat in Gujarat. Tropical freshwater swamps such as Myristica swamps forests occur in Travancore, Kerala. Certain species such as Myristica species, Rhizostomia species are present. So, we are again continuing with the group 4, littoral and swamp forest. They occur in Sundarbans, which is 40% of the area in West Bengal, is the largest mangrove in the world. These mangrove forests are generally dominated by trees of genera Rhizospora, Avicennia, Soneratia, Bruguera, Cereops, and some genera like Heritiera and Xylocarpus are the tropical dry deciduous forests of India. They are the largest forest types of India, covering about 40% of the forest area of the country. These forests they occur from Kanyakumari to the foothills of Himalaya in low rainfall areas of 600 to 1200 millimeter per year. There is a marked seasonality in the rainfall and prolonged drought period over the annual cycles. The tree is less than 25 meter high with a light demanding canopy consisting of deciduous trees. The southern tropical deciduous forests are the dry teak bearing forests of Tectona grandis associated with Boswellia serrata, Anogenesis lentifolia, Sterculia species and Acacia catechu. Dry red cinders bearing forests are dominated by Pterocarpus santalinus. Southern dry mixed forests are dominated by Boswellia serrata, the dry mixed forest with Tectona grandis. The Santalum album bearing shrub forests also come under this category. The northern tropical deciduous forests occur in Bihar, Bengal, Odisha, UP, Haryana. Soria robusta is a low quality in these forests. Dry peninsular sal forests occur in regions of Bihar, MP, represented by Pachmadi Plateau, Odisha, UP, West Bengal and Chhattisgarh, that is Amarkantak National Park. Soria robusta is mixed with Boswellia serrata. In this slide, we see the dry deciduous forests in the Kalesar Reserve Forest in Haryana. The forests are dry Shivalik Solia robusta and dry plain Solia robusta forest. These forests also have the northern dry mixed deciduous forest and the dry riverian forest. So, this picture is the northern tropical dry deciduous forest in Kalesar National Park, the Shivalik Soria robusta forest and the dry plain Soria robusta forest. Group 6, the tropical thorn forest. These forests are found in low rainfall areas of northern India, peninsular India and central India. Moisture availability is limiting for plant growth. The trees experience prolonged dry periods. The southern tropical thorn forests occur in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. In South India, important species are Acacia chundra, Acacia planiforans and Acacia catechu. So, the tropical thorn forests occur in northern tropical thorn forests occur in semi-arid regions of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, northern Gujarat, MP, UP and Delhi. The desert thorn type consists of Acacia senegal, Prosopis spicigera, Prosopis cineraria, Acacia leucofluia, Acacia nilotica, Gigifus species and Salvadora species. Now, we come to the group 7. The group 7 is represented by the tropical dry evergreen forests. These forests are restricted in distribution to Karnataka coast, also reported from the east coast in Andhra Pradesh. These are low growing forests. Trees are 9 to 12 meter height and form a complete canopy. Most conspicuous trees in this forest are Manilkara, Hexandra, Mammisalon, Idule, along with Diospyros, Eugenia, Chloroxylon, Albizia amara. There is a high diversity of trees, shrubs and herbs in this forest. Group 8 is represented by the subtropical broad-leaved hill forests, which are largely evergreen, occur in moderately high rainfall areas of 1000 to 3000 millimeter, but in Cherrapunji, which is in Meghalaya, northeast India, rainfall is very high, 11,000 millimeter per year. Southern subtropical broad-leaved hill forest in South India, these forests are found in the hill slopes and tops at about 1000 to 1700 meter height in Nilgiri, Palni and Markara hills. Main trees are Calophyllum, Eugenia, Dalbergia latifolia, Anogeissis latifolia, Umbilica officinalis, Olea dioica and Phoenix humilis. The group 8 subtropical broad-leaved hill forests of central India, these forests are found in the hilltops about 1200 meter in Madhya Pradesh, that is the Pachmadi region. Bihar, Odisha, Manikara, Hexandra, Mangifera, Syzygium are conspicuous trees. The northern subtropical broad-leaved hill forests occur in Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Sikkim and West Bengal. In this slide, we see the northern subtropical broad-leaved hill forests from the Manipur region. These forests are dominated by Quercus serrata, Eugenia, Shima, Wellichii rus, and they are these forests are from the Imphal region in Manipur. Then in this slide, we see the group 9 type of the subtropical pine forests. The subtropical pine cheer forests occur throughout the central and western Himalaya between 1000 to 1800 meter. They are distributed in Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab and Uttarakhand. Pinus roxburghii along with broad-leaved species is the main characteristics of this forest. So, we see a view of the subtropical cheer Pinus roxburghii forest in the Morni hills in northeast Haryana in this slide. Continuing with the subtropical pine forest, we see the Pinus cassia forest along with Shima Wellichii in the Khasi and Naga hills and Manipur hills. The Pinus cassia is often a pioneer in the deforested secondary vegetation, especially if the fire has been factor of the disturbance. So, in this slide, we see a view of the subtropical Pinus cassia forest in Manipur in northeast India. Group 10, the subtropical dry evergreen forests in the Bhabbar tract, the Shivalik hills and the foothills of western Himalaya in Punjab, Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. Olea cuspidata is found on alluvial ground on wider valleys. In Jammu and Kashmir, the dominant species of these scrub forests are Olea cuspidata, Acacia modesta and Dudonia viscosa. The group 11 is the mountain wet temperate forests. Under this category, first we will discuss the southern mountain wet temperate forest. These forests are found in patches, occur in high hills of Tamil Nadu and Kerala on Annamalai, Palni and Tirunelveli hills at about 1500 meter upwards. Important species belong to Syzygium species, Michaelia nilgerica and Rhododendron nilgericum. There is the dense undergrowth, presence of epiphytes and woody climbers. We discussed the northern mountain wet temperate forests. These northern wet temperate forests occur in Bengal, Sikkim, Assam, Manipur and are closed evergreen high forests of large girth classes, medium height, large branching crowns. The oak forests are a characteristic of these northern wet temperate forests. The group 11 forest, an example of the wet temperate forest. It is from the Ukhrul district in Manipur. These are northern mountain wet temperate forests, and they are dominated by rhododendron arboreum and quercus species, located at an altitude of 1900 meter above mean sea level. The group 12 are the Himalayan west temperate forests. These forests extend the whole length of the Himalayan region between the subtropical pine forest and subalpine forest. Altitude ranges from 1500 meter to 3300 meter. These are concentrated in the central and western Himalaya, except in areas where rainfall is below 1000 millimeter. Distributed in Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Darjeeling district of West Bengal and Sikkim. So, we are continuing with the group 12. It is Himalayan moist temperate forest. There are several species of the oaks that are present in this forest. Most citrus devdara forests form pure stands. The upper form consists of Abies spindros, Picea smithiana and Quercus semicarpifolia. The eastern Himalayan hills are occupied by several species of the Quercus and rhododendron species. So, in this slide we see a view of the Himalayan most temperate forest from the Munsiyari region of Pithoragarh in Kumaon Himalayas. It is dominated by the oak species. In this slide we see the Himalayan moist temperate forest, a view of the Himalayan moist temperate forest dominated by Quercus semicarpifolia. It is from the Rudraprayag region at a height of 2700 meter altitude. The moist Himalayan temperate forest, it is a evergreen citrus devdara forest surrounding the Khajjar lake, located at 1920 meter above mean sea level in Khajjar, Chamba district of Himachal Pradesh in western Himalaya. So, we see a beautiful view of the citrus devdara forest in this Khajjar region. So, group 12 is the Himalayan dry temperate forest. In this forest the conifers are predominant, distributed on 1700 to 3000 meter altitude in the inner ranges of the Himalaya. Rainfall is usually less than 1000 millimeter, mostly received as snow in winter months. These forests are distributed in Kashmir, Ladakh, Lahore, Chamba, Inner Garhwal and Sikkim. In western Himalaya, the characteristic species are Pinus gerardiana, Citrus devdara, Juniperus. At higher elevation, Abies spindros and Pinus veliciana are found. In the eastern Himalaya, the common species are Abies and Picea. In higher hills, Juniperus veliciana is common. Now we move on to group 14, which is the subalpine forest. These forests occur throughout the Himalaya above 3000 meter elevation up to the tree limit. Rainfall is low. The forests are mainly evergreen. Rhododendron is common constituent. Tall trees are conifers. Betula utilis is present as the largest deciduous tree and associated with genera like Quercus semicarpifolia, Sorbus and rhododendron species. Western Himalaya subalpine forests, the Abies spectabilis and Metula utilis. The second type of the forests are the West Himalayan subalpine birch and fir forest. In eastern Himalayas, Abies densa and Betula utilis and rhododendron species are present. These are climax formations, self-generating with marked resilience. Group 15 are the moist alpine scrub. Moist alpine scrub occurs throughout the Himalaya above the timberline to 5,500 meter altitude, distributed in Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Manipur. Composed entirely of species of rhododendron with some birch and other deciduous trees and dwarf juniper scrub. In Kumaon, Uttarakhand, Betula utilis and rhododendron campanulatum scrub forest occur. Group 16, the dry alpine scrub. It is a xerophytic formation having predominance of dwarf shrubs, rainfall less than 370 millimeter per year up to 5,500 meter altitude. These scrub forests are distributed in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh. Characteristic plants are Juniperus beliciana, Lonicera species and Potentilla species. So, to conclude this lecture, we summarize that there are 16 forest types in India based on temperature and moisture regimes. The tropical wet evergreen forests are found in Western Ghats, northeastern India and Andaman and Nicobar. Tropical dry deciduous forests are largest forest type of India, covering about 40% of the forest area. Himalayan moist temperate forests occur in northern India at an altitude ranging from 1500 meter to 3300 meters. Several species of oak predominate in temperate forests. The subalpine forests occur in the Himalaya above 3000 meter elevation up to the tree limit. Thank you.